With the Citi Double Cash Card, you get 1% cash back when you buy and 1% as you pay. That's like the joy of discovering the last donut.
Ooh.
And it has your name on it, literally, in chocolate sprinkly things.
No way.
Double the love with the Citi Double Cash Card. Apply now at Citi.com/doublecash.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz Podcast.
There is a funny glitch in our text machine that every once in a while, and I'm not sure how this is happening technologically. I don't know if you're afraid of robots and drones and the way that very soon the government is going to have the access to all of our private stuff. I don't know how scared you are about any of this, but there's a glitch in this system, and this is what I got, and I'm pretty sure it's a text from like a month ago. And I think I'm going to just start reading these texts to remind us of something that happened a month ago. So this person writes in, what athlete makes you the most sad? I'm all in with Zebo. He has gotten so slow, and now he's stuck on that dumpster fire that is the Kings. I didn't even know he was a King until I watched them get beat by 45 by the Hawks last night. That game was a month ago. But I'm just wondering, answer that question. What athlete makes you right now most sad? Because Zebo was so popular in Memphis, and now that body type and the way that he plays, that's not going to age well. Like he's always been confusing how he can do the things, kind of like Paul Pierce, how he can do the things that he does given his body type.
D-Wade makes you that sad?
Playing a little bit better lately, Mike. A little bit better.
Yes, but he's playing a different game. He's playing a different game than the D-Wade I know and love.
It's going to be hard to watch Westbrook age. Oh, my God, is that going to be hard? Because very, very few are the guys whose athleticism on that court pops off the screen. It's going to be the way Westbrook's game is going to age is going to be really hard for someone at the end of his career because he already can't shoot.
Right. And if you take the athletic ability, the speed, the jumping ability,
but it's what's making Mike sad about Dwayne Wade that what you remember is a Michael Jordan performance in the finals where four guys couldn't stop him, where he was clearly the most athletic human being in the sport.
There are NBA fans that are probably in their teens right now that don't remember that D Wade, and you have to lean over and say that guy used to be nicknamed Flash. I would love to see their faces when you tell them, hey, that guy right there, number 9 for the Cavs, used to be called Flash.
Right. I'm laughing at the amount of people that Dan just informed that Zach Randolph is no longer playing for the Memphis Grizzlies. People are shocked by this on the text machine.
That's great. Guillermo, put it on the poll.
It's funny, man.
Are you shocked that Zebo is no longer in Memphis?
I was thinking when you first said it, this is a tough one because I want to remember Vince Carter one way.
Also on the Kings.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What?
Yes, Vince Carter's on the Kings.
And they're not good?
Yes. And what? Why? Oh, that's right. That's Stugatz's thing of always wanting the names. It's why he wanted to sign Scottie Pippen at 50.
Wait a second. They have Zebo, Vince Carter. They have a nice mix of young talent and aging superstars. Slightly past their prime.
On. You guys realize we just stumbled into something? Mike just made me laugh with the idea of that guy used to be nicknamed Flash. I could absolutely do something better than Suicide Squad if I were to grab a comic book movie and just make it the way that Morgan Freeman is like making these old Las Vegas movies. I can make it aging superheroes and how sad that would make you. That you would, not unlike Dwayne Wade and Vince Carter and Zebo and these people, you see them, their athleticism melt away. How would you like a sort of senior Superman where there's just some clear weaknesses in his game because he's not what you remember? Or Batman that's just got, the stuff doesn't work as quickly as it used to. Do you think I can make a franchise around aging superheroes that are imperfect?
Comic book nerds could have hit you up with the aging Batman series that Frank Miller did, which is widely regarded as one of the great graphic novels of our time. Why did Alan Thicke say that?
Okay, weird, I don't know why you just did that. Why did you go accent there? Because you
went Alan Thicke accent. Right. It was weird.
All right, let's play some. Let's get some people in the mood for Thanksgiving.
All right.
Let's begin the bidding with John Gruden getting you ready for Thanksgiving, however it is that you would like John Gruden to do that.
Watch Stafford fit the
ball in the hole between the corner and the safety. I don't advise this at home. What a throw by Matt Stafford. I call that the turkey hole. Don't ask me why, but look at that, the turkey.
Why? You don't know. You call the turkey
Brad
hole,
Johnson
but you don't
called
know why.
it. But let me show you what the turkey hole is.
Great call.
It's the turkey hole. It's the area when the corner rolls up, there's a hole between the safety and the corner. It's not an easy throw. You got to be able to rifle it in there, Sean. And I'm watching one here, Matt Stafford, who makes a living putting the ball right there in the turkey hole.
That's good chemistry between those two.
They are great. Sean McDonough is so relaxed calling games, and to do it on Monday Night Football, he's just so conversational and so relaxed. It's fun. It's a good listen.
Let's get John Gruden to get you even more ready for Thanksgiving.
It's very important that I start at the rear first. This tail feather gives me speed and precision. And it's these mid feathers you got to be careful with as you go around your Super Bowl ring, you know. But these middle feathers are the brain of the outfit. And this front feather, that points the direction that this hand turkey goes.
That, of course, is John Gruden drawing a hand turkey around his Super Bowl ring. Do you have Jim Harbaugh getting us ready for Thanksgiving?
I don't think there was ever a question there. I think it's just a lot of gobble turkey, you know, by just gobble turkey from jive turkey gobblers.
He's sounding like less and less of a genius now that they keep losing. Huh? Yeah. Now that they are the maize and poo, as Stugotz loves to call them.
Sounds like a quack now.
Speaking of quacks, Mike, do you have Les Miles? Can you get us Les Miles? Speaking of loons and quacks, Les Miles, can he get us ready for Thanksgiving?
I am the easiest man to please when it comes to food. I have to be honest. I think it's definitely the turkey with a warm gravy. Maybe it's the last spoon or fork of food on the plate, you know, that has a little bit of salt and pepper and maybe a little bit of the turkey and gravy and some of the stuffing that would be there, and maybe just a smidgen of that cranberry stuff, right? Yeah. Not like a big, not kind of overwhelm the last bite, but that right there, oh my goodness, right? That last bite's worth a lot. I might add that the turkey sandwich with mayonnaise, mustard, and onions, and a little salad, a little lettuce, kind of makes for good eating later too, doesn't it?
Yeah. So good. He's right about that. That's better than the actual meal. It is. The turkey sandwich, I take the mustard off, but the mayonnaise, oh, fantastic.
That last bite, man.
Oh.
A little bit of everything.
I might add, that loon was a champion who ate grass. That guy right there. Yep. That sounds less leadery and genius, right? When it's no longer winning and is replaced by Ed Orgeron.
Correct. Yes. Sounds like Harbaugh.
Do you have any Andrew Luck there for us, reminiscing about Thanksgiving?
It's going to be a lot of fun. Get to play on Thanksgiving. You know, isn't that cool? I think that's probably every little boy's dream to play a real game on Thanksgiving.
Wait a minute. Does he spell Thanksgiving as the first letter an N?
It's going to be a lot of fun. Get to play on Thanksgiving. You know, isn't that cool? I think that's probably every little boy's dream to play a real game on Thanksgiving.
What's happening there at the beginning of Thanksgiving, the way Andrew Luck says it? It sounds like there are two ends at the beginning of Thanksgiving.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Get to play on Thanksgiving. You know, isn't that cool? I think that's probably every little boy's dream to play a real game on Thanksgiving.
Guillermo, put it on the poll. Is Andrew Luck saying it small n, Thanksgiving? He is, right? What's he doing? That's going to be a champion leader one day.
No, it's not.
Yeah, okay, but I hope it is. I need it to be.
Oh, yeah, you know, on Thanksgiving, it's everybody's dream. There's always a lot of ends in what he says.
Please don't stop, though. Please, I know that you feel vulnerable. I know that you feel fragile when doing this impersonation.
Open the door. I mean, just go.
Because you're not confident in the impersonation, but I'm telling you that your Andrew Luck is very good.
Oh, yeah. I love playing all Thanksgiving. You know, it's everybody's dream. You get home for Thanksgiving meal.
What is it? Wait. What is Andrew Luck's favorite Thanksgiving meal?
My favorite Thanksgiving meal is, definitely got to be, green bean casserole. a lot of almonds, the onion crunchies.
Is there a particular teammate he loves to have over for Thanksgiving?
Jack Doyle.
I'm always looking for Jack Doyle.
Don Le Batard.
Mike, for some reason, I saw you in the room there working on what I thought was your Andrew Luck. I wasn't sure. I walk into the room, and of course, what they're talking about is who in sports would you call to rescue your life if you were in a threatening situation and feel like you were going to actually be rescued. And so he's working on his Andrew Luck. So let's go ahead and play it out.
Stugotz.
Well, it's not something I want to do, but absolutely it'll save your life. I'll rappel down this cave. I'll neutralize the threat. I'll secure the perimeter. Get you back to your beautiful wife. Happy wife, happy life. Jack Doyle.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
We will get to Mike Leach's thoughts on marriage in a moment. I'm told it's very good sound. I have not heard it yet. Mike Leach is a delight. I wish everybody in college sports, not just the occasional renegade coach, could exhibit personality. I wish for Mike Leach to get a better job than the one that he has now and reign atop college football, even though he is in the top 20 and he has made a nowhere school matter. But before we get to that sound, I got a lot of people writing me today, Stugotz, badgering the company, man. They want me to talk about a Pixar executive that has resigned, citing missteps, or not resigned, 6-month sabbatical, citing missteps, because that's going to be the new move now. We've been talking a lot about this sexual harassment stuff, sex crimes, and there's been an American reckoning now, the abuse of power by men. And there's a place here that I think is interesting to explore. Some people have not liked my tone over the course of the last couple of days when discussing some of this stuff. And I get it, because I'm saying on the front end, we can all agree this is wrong and immoral and in some places illegal, okay? So I'm not talking about the crimes. That's a place where we all have agreement. Don't do criminal things. Now, the thing that's changed is that men had the power and felt sexual harassment in the workplace was okay, and there are varying shades of that are also unacceptable and wrong. But the part I wanted to get into with you, because some people have thought my tone flip on this subject, even as I've told you all of what I just said, which is all that stuff is wrong, clearly wrong. I'm interested in the space after that conversationally. And the thing that I wanted to discuss with you is the idea of, have you seen how hard a time comedians have had, specifically with the Louis C.K. things? We trust the comedians to be the people who will go where the rest of us won't and talk about things that make the rest of us uncomfortable, because he's one of their own, though, and because it's a male clique world. Have you seen the trouble these late night geniuses have had, not only addressing this in a meaningful way, but protecting their friend, where comedy seems to be closing the ranks on someone that they know personally.
Right.
And so while he has his demons, even Sarah Silverman is coming out and saying, look, he did these, my friend did these things. Like, how do I come to terms with how I deal with this when I would crucify this person if they were not my friend?
I haven't noticed, and obviously not a comedian, but Gayle King, who came out on CBS this morning, I think it was yesterday, and said, listen, I'm having trouble navigating through this. Charlie Rose is my friend, and I only know the good in him. I didn't know all of this, and so I'm struggling to get through it. She had a hard time with it.
All of this stuff is hard, but here's where it's also made harder, Stugat. So I've been trying within that space, on the front end, telling you how serious all this stuff is. I've been trying around it to not be tightened and fearful. But do you realize how hard it is to do comedy when you're fearful? And even these geniuses on late night television who do comedy for a living don't know how to navigate all of that stuff, combined with, if you say the wrong thing, you're next.
Yep.
And so that climate, to me, that climate is one I'm always going to rebel against.
Sure.
Because what's been happening here is the way that I've been discussing this. Some people are saying, look, Le Batard is, I'm not Man, I know how awful men are. I am not pro-man on this stuff. I'm pro-equality, and I'm pro-find the funny in everything. Try and find the funny in everything. And what I find interesting about this, Stugotz, is it's gotten so serious that there's no place to find jokes around any of it. And we don't need to be joking about the sex crimes, obviously, but there are degrees before the crimes where you can have some jokes. Like we were trying yesterday with, man, this was this stuff, the glory days of this stuff was the 1950s. Man, treating his secretary as an inferior, like in the 50s in America, that was somehow allowed. I just find it really to be an unsafe space when not even comedians can sit here and discuss this issue. And the reason for it is because of fear. It feels to me like this is what's happening, okay? It feels to me like the only way to discuss this is with varying degrees of getting louder on how wrong it is when we can all agree it's wrong. Everyone agrees that it's wrong. And so then it becomes who can get louder about how wrong it is. And if you're not in line with keeping and getting louder, then you seem to be supporting men, or you seem to be supporting bad behavior, or you seem to be defending immorality. You see how that works? No, and I'm just talking about like societally, conversationally, about anything. That ain't good as an environment to discuss anything because.
Well, discussing it out of fear or being afraid to have the discussion.
I love what's.
Plus, with comedians, there's an expectation from the audience too. Hey, go! Like you guys go after everyone. Go.
Have you guys noticed that comedy doesn't know what to do with Louis C.K.? Have you noticed that comedy, all of comedy, it took Hannibal Buress to smoke all this stuff out on Cosby. Comedy is a place you go, and comedy is also scared of all this stuff.
Don Le Batard.
Wasted away again in Margaritaville. Searching for my lost shaker of sand.
Stugotz.
Some people claim that there's a green person to blame.
Really?
But I don't.
I'm not
Margaritaville, baby.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show. Up here via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Get instant gold status at Shell. Join the Fuel Rewards program now at fuelrewards.com/gold. Here's your SportsCenter update. College football playoff rankings released last night on ESPN. Number 1, Alabama. Number 2, Miami. Number 3, Clemson. Number 4, Oklahoma. The Atlanta Braves lost 13 prospects, and former GM John Coppolella was banned for life by Major League Baseball for circumventing international signing rules from 2015 to 2017. And finally, Manute Bol lied about his age and may have been 50 when he played. Kevin Mackey, the college basketball coach who brought Bol to the United States in the mid-1980s, told zagsblog.com that he made up the 7'7" center's widely recognized birthday, October 16th, 1962, soon after flying him into the country for a recruiting visit. Bol played one season at the University of Bridgeport, averaging 22.5 points per game, 13.5 rebounds.
As a 40-year-old, he was
7.1 blocks per game. Spoiler alert, as the Division II level in 1984-1985, when he allegedly made up birthday, would have listed him at 22 years old, and Mackey believes he might have been closer to 40. For all the latest, I don't even know.
You have to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. This is the guy who recruited him, brought him here, and coached him, yeah.
You're alleging, Mackey is alleging that Manute Bol played in college when he was 40?
Mackey is flat out telling you that he made up his birth date.
Guillermo, put it on the poll. Is Mackey full of it? Come on. Come on.
Why would he
We would have noticed if Manute Bol was 40 in college.
Would we?
Somebody would have noticed.
I'm gonna do a Google image search of Manute Bol in college. Let me see if I can detect some stuff that would suggest that he's 40.
Here's a quote from Bills head coach Sean McDermott. Quote, "When you chase greatness, there is no fear in greatness." Nathan Peterman's going back to the bench. Tyrod Taylor starts this week. I love when we use sound of people talking about not having fear. Russell Wilson has gone his entire career never saying a single interesting thing except that one time that he said that his vitamin water, helped him cure concussion.
Nanobubbles.
Thank you, Mike. But on Monday Night Football, he was talking, and he's like, we don't have any fear. We don't have any fear. And then he goes, not a glimpse of fear. And John Gruden's like, I love that. And it's like, it's like, okay, Russell, nobody can ever catch you in the backfield. You're excellent at what you do. I'm guessing that Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and all of the great quarterbacks have no fear.
I love that, man.
I know.
I want a quarterback that turns off the lights, looks into a mirror, and says Bloody Mary 100 times.
100 times. No fear. But Russell Wilson wanted to punctuate it like he's not a glimpse of fear. I mean, okay, Russell. I mean, Matt doesn't. You don't have any fear, but you don't have a safety and a cornerback.
You have no defense,
and you're going to lose.
And every snap is you running back 20 yards, spinning, twirling, trying to avoid.
You might not be afraid, but trust me, that's what it would look like if you were. Just running from 300-pound people 30 yards backwards.
He's running for his life every play. It's crazy. He twirls every snap.
Yes, it's nice that you have no fear. No one else in the league is running 40 yards backward before throwing a check down.
If you really zoom in on Bowles' face when he was in college, I think closer to 40 is accurate. You got to really zoom in.
Yeah,
I'm serious, Dan. You got to see some of these pictures. I think he's 40.
Yeah, I don't think the coach that tried to bring him here actually ended up coaching him in college because he was embroiled in some sort of paying scandal. I think he tried to pay him a new bowl, and that's why he ended up at that D2 school. But at the time of his supposed death, well, not supposed death, at the time of his death, his supposed age was 47 years old. This would have made Manute Bol, if this theory is true, older than when he died, when he played in the NBA.
I want to get back to the idea of studying the psychology of fear, because I think if Russell Wilson does not fear who he has playing for him on the offensive line, then I can smear him with the indictment of he's dumb. He should fear. We've all seen his offensive line. Fear is not a bad thing. Fear is your body telling you, hey, that's a reasonable thing to be afraid of. And the Seattle offensive line is a reasonable thing for him to fear. Bravery is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to overcome fear. It's okay to be afraid.
Russell Wilson has to lead the league in 8-yard passes that are actually 48-yard passes.
Yes, we should readjust the stats for him. Mike, you are so right about this. Russell Wilson needs to be quantified differently. If he runs 40 yards on a play that's a 3-yard play, which he does, we need to figure out new math for that. Concealing how terrible your offensive line is.
I don't want to swipe him either because he's doing an incredible job behind that. He's running
healthy.
For his life.
He was not healthy last year. It's clear he was not healthy last year, and he is healthy this year.
He's healthy outside of that broken jaw that he probably had last week. Also, that concussion that he probably had last week. It still played.
Totally healthy. Totally healthy. Shut up. Shut your mouth.
I think we need to redo the math on Manute Bol.
50.
I'm telling you, man. I'm not even certain. 40 seems young. These pictures I'm looking at.
You see his son? He's playing for Oregon. I believe his son's name is Bol.
Yep. Really?
It's Bol.
Bol?
Can we get him on? Can we ask him? Was your dad in college? Can we get him on? Allison, can you get us Bol, please? I'd like to talk to somebody about whether Manute Bol was 40 when he was playing in college. I'd rather it not be that liar Mackey. Mike, play the sound of Mike Leach. Mike Leach, the Washington State coach, talking to us about marriage. What kind of setup does this need?
Well, this is courtesy of Washington State Athletics.
The best wisdom that I can possibly give, you have to stay out of the way. Now, and I wish you a very happy marriage, and I'm sure you'll have one. But I'm just telling you, when it comes to marriages, the women lose their mind. Your fiancé is going to lose her mind. Your mother-in-law is going to lose her mind. Your mom is going to lose her mind. and that they're gonna barrage you with constant questions. What should we wear? And then, which of course my answer was, I don't care. And then, what color should the invitations be? I don't care. But see, I don't care is not satisfactory at all. And you're going to get caught in a catch-22, and I'm certain that you already have. And that catch-22 is, well, I want you to be a part of this too. So what color invitations? All right, the blue ones. Well, I kind of like the tan ones. Okay, the tan ones then. Oh, you're just saying that because you want this over with. You're not even thinking about it, which is of course true. And in the end, you'll wish you eloped. But nevertheless, you need to find excuses that they'll buy to be as far out of harm's way as you possibly can. And but take comfort in knowing that once the ceremony's over, that life will get progressively better from there, even though there's some adjustment.
Guillermo, go ahead and put it on the poll. Would you be okay with Mike Leach just sort of being a oracle of wisdom for men, a romance wisdom?
I mean, he's Bol.
He's Bol.
Looked it up. Bol.
Are we going to get him on?
Bol.
I mean, probably next week. We're going to try really hard.
I mean, okay, that's fairly shocking news that Manute Bol was playing college basketball in his 40s.
You think Bol would know the true age of Manute?
I don't know what's real here. I'm confused. My realities have been shattered. The stories I know about Manute Bol is that he actually killed either a lion or a tiger with a spear. That's one of the stories about him he was from the Sudan, right?
Yeah. When everyone thought he was a teenager, but in actuality,
he was a grown.
He was
a hunter. That's right. He was an accomplished hunter.
Right.
Like, I mean, I thought, like, Guillermo, what's more shocking? Manute Bol playing college basketball at 40 or Rick Pitino coaching college basketball at 400?
You have Pitino that young, huh?
4,000 if I prefer. 4,000 if you prefer. Count Pitino. We got a new deal at Metro PCS. This one is different. It's the first time we've heard them do this. Listen to what Stugotz has to say.
Yeah, it's a great deal. Switch to Metro PCS and enjoy Amazon Prime for a whole year when you get a free Samsung Galaxy J7 Prime and an unlimited LTE plan. You'll enjoy thousands of movies, TV shows, music, free 2-day shipping, and much more. Don't miss out on this incredible holiday deal from our friends over at Metro PCS. Metro PCS, wireless figured out. During congestion, a fraction of customers using more than 35 gigs a month may notice reduced speeds. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network. See stores for details and terms and conditions. 1 year of Amazon Prime has a $99 value.
Mike, is that the Kevin Mackey? Is that the Mackey, the Cleveland State Mackey?
Yeah, the one that was arrested.
So, wait.
Mm-hmm.
The coach who's alleging that Manute Bol was 40 in college is the same coach who got banned for some sort of major drug crack issue?
Huh. I just know about the arrest. Let me look up the rest.
Okay, This is reckless for me to do without looking it up, but I'm pretty sure that's the same guy.
I know it's a Cleveland State Mackey.
It is, but nobody has had a coaching scandal like that guy's coaching scandal. We break it down next.
Don Batard.
I'd like to be a dog, man. It seems like such a great lifestyle. You sleep all day, you wait for everyone to come home, they rub your belly, they take you for a walk, and they just throw treats at you.
Stugotz.
I mean, I feel like you're kind of this show's pet, though, aren't you? Kind of. I mean, look at you today.
Who's good?
I mean, who's good? We groomed Stugotz. Who's good? Who's good?
Who's good? This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Texter writes in here, the inability to make a distinguishment between a man that slaps another woman's butt, however wrong that may be in context, and a man who forces women into rooms, exposes his genitals, and proceeds to blankety blank while she watches is asinine. I mean, that's the objection that I have. The sexual crimes we shouldn't be joking about. The sexual other stuff should be a safe space for comedy. I'm not saying for everybody. I'm saying it should be like comedy should be able to go into some of these safe spaces And as it relates to Louis C.K. specifically, because it's a crime, these comedians don't want to go anywhere near any of this, and because they know him.
Well, it's tricky, right? They know him. They're friends with him. They might know some of the victims, and so it's difficult. It's hit one of their own. It's tricky. I don't think it's as easy as...
Sarah Silverman's position was a difficult one because she is the comic who will attack just about anything, and she is a very strong woman on behalf of women's rights, and she's got this man that she loves who did these despicable things, and it's just a really difficult spot for her.
I've reached out to a couple comics that I know because I think it would be interesting to talk to one of them on the radio show and get that whole perspective. And it's what you're saying is absolutely right. Not many people know what to do with this.
It's crazy. Nobody wants to talk about it. The funniest people in Hollywood don't want to get anywhere near it. They just don't want even to have comments around it. But before I go down that dark path before Thanksgiving, let's just find out who Kevin Mackey is. This Kevin Mackey who's alleging that Manute Bol might have been 40 when he was playing in college. What information can you give me on this Kevin Mackey, Stugat?
Born August 21st, 1946, is a former head coach of men's basketball at Cleveland State University. Although several low moments of his life were made very public, Mackey was also a popular symbol of success when his CSU Vikings upset the Indiana Hoosiers to make it to the Sweet 16.
Personal issues. Oh. Go to personal issues.
That's off the top of your head?
Yeah, I was just getting to the interesting stuff.
I thought you were going to go, was a former American basketball coach. It doesn't read like that at the top of Wikipedia, no?
Even with the probation, Mackey still reckoned as a rising star in the collegiate ranks. Cleveland State knew this and signed him to a 2-year, $300,000 contract in July 1990. However, on July 13th, only a few days after he signed his contract, Cleveland police, acting on a tip, pulled him over, and he drove left of center. He was arrested for driving under the influence and having an open container. It emerged that he sprayed his mouth with a breath spray before taking a breathalyzer test as the police station.
I'm following along. You skipped a word.
Subsequently, emerged that he'd spray his mouth. I don't know why I missed it. I'm not afraid of that word. I just missed it. I'm moving too quickly. Emerged that he'd sprayed his mouth with a breath spray before taking a breathalyzer test at the police station. Since breath spray can alter the results of breathalyzer tests, police took a urine sample which revealed traces of cocaine.
We skipped the part about why they were on probation because he tried to pay Manute Bol money. He actually did, and he tried to sign 3 Sudanese national team players.
Well, this is what I love.
Stop me. I was just getting to that.
No, but see, this is what I love. This is because there's also crack den details here. I want you to picture this as the FBI investigates this vampire at Louisville. This renegade hotshot coach with a coke problem just went to Sudan and was like, anyone here speak English? We'll handle the birth certificates. No English? That's fine. I got you covered here. We're good. Like, I'll take care of everything. I'll get you into class. You're 40? No problem. I just need giant Sudanese people. What happened with Manute Bol? You say one of these guys, you're telling me this guy killed an actual lion with an actual spear. That's something that happened in this village. That's right. He's 40 years old. That's okay. I'll get him into school. How will you get him into school? He doesn't speak English. Don't worry about that. I got it handled. The FBI is late to investigating this game. Wait a minute. How are you going to get Manute Bol, who doesn't speak English, how are you going to get him into an American institution of higher learning? I got it, man. Why are you brushing your teeth with your finger violently? Birth certificates and grades, I got them. Nothing will happen to me. Whoa!